Hey guys, welcome back to Beach and Fishing. Paul here with you again today, and today we're going to talk about kayak trolleys, or my 3 best kayak trolleys. Now, Beach and Fishing is my channel where we talk about all things to do with fishing. I'm an avid fisherman, not a professional fisherman, and I just like talking about it, writing about it, and doing all that sort of stuff. So as I said, today we're going to talk about kayak trolleys. Now, I'm an avid kayak fisherman, and I take my kayak out on the water quite often. If you look through this channel, you start to see some videos of me actually out on the kayak instead of sitting here, because I bought myself a new GoPro and it's working. Well, it's starting to work, working it out. But kayak trolleys. So as you take as you take your kayak down to the water's edge, whether it be the beach, the estuary where I go, or a lake or whatever, as you get it off the car, you need to transport it down to the water's edge, as I've said. Now, look, when it comes to kayak fishing, if you have nothing else, there's probably about 3 things that you absolutely must have. 1 is obviously a rod and a reel. 2 is a rod holder on the kayak, I believe anyway, so you're not trying to hold it and paddle at the same time, so at least 1 rod holder. And number 3 is a kayak trolley, because what a kayak trolley does, it allows you to put the kayak on top of this and wheel along with everything along. If you're not sure exactly what I'm talking about, if I turn this off, you can see the top of the my post here. Guy there dragging his kayak along with a little trolley underneath. That's exactly what we're talking about here. Now this one sticks up. I've got to sit on top kayak, so this one sits up through 2 of the bung holes, the ones in the seat generally. So it sits up underneath there. The kayak sits on top, and I drag it along like that. When I'm finished, pull it off, and off I go. Now this one here in particular has some adjustable, I'm not going to adjust these because they're adjusted for the width of my kayak, but I can adjust these in and out to make it wide enough. If I ever need to, I can take these off with these clips here. I'm not sure why. And I've got some pretty wide, these are hard plastic tires. So that's for the sit on top model. If you've got a sit in model, obviously there's not normally bung holes in them, so you'll need like one that's it's almost like a fold out camp chair. You know, the little fold-out camp chairs you have? Folds out like that and wheels underneath, and the kayak actually sits on top of that. They're the main 2 types. There's other variations, which I'll show you through my recommendations. Not much more to them that, to be honest. I guess the things to look for is, if you're thinking about a kayak trolley, obviously, if you've got a sit-on-top or a sit-in model, the sit-on-tops, you can get the ones that push through like this. I mean, the sit-on-top models will work on the ones that you use for the sit-on ones. You know, the ones, as I mentioned, the frame that folds out. I'll show you one of them in a second. The other things just to be aware of is how far are you going to drag your kayak. I drag this I've got a friend of mine who lives just near where we fish, probably about, in Australian speak, probably about 400 or 500 meters from the water. Excuse me. And we drag them along there. That's nice and hard. It works on the road quite well. We drag it up the road to the edge. I don't have need to drag mine over the sand. If you do, you can get ones with those big grey sand wheels on. This one has removable wheels, so I can actually swap the wheels over if I wanted to. That's the main thing. Some have rubber wheels, like blow-up rubber, like on a wheelbarrow or a push bike or something like that. They're a bit softer and a bit more comfortable if you are dragging them a long distance. You can use them as well. But apart from that, that's pretty much what you've got. I leave mine on the edge of the water when I go away. I live in an area where, luckily for me, they don't get stolen, or it hasn't yet. But I could turn this over and stick it in top of the holes at the back when I go away, because these things act as little bung holes on the top as well, so the water's not going to come through. The fold-up ones, I'll put that down. The fold-up ones actually just fold up and sit on top. So again, that's mine. So that's how mine sits on my kayak. So you can see it. You can probably just see the tops of that sitting through. So that's how mine sit. There's the sit on top model. So that's the fold. You can see that folds. And you can see the picture here where this guy's got his folded up and just sitting on the front of his kayak. So you can sort of store them however you like to go. But they're the main 2 we're talking about, the fold out ones or the push through ones. That's as I keep saying, that's my kayak with the push through one there that I've just shown you. Okay, so let's have a look at my 3 recommendations. They're not as cheap as what I've always expected these things to be, but they can be. I found 3 pretty good ones here for you. This one is the fold out type, so it will work for both sit in and sit on models. 9.5-inch inflatable rubber tyres, so it will go pretty much anywhere. It will hold up to 200 pounds or 90 kilos, which is generally fine if you've just got your kayak and a bit of stuff on top. This one has tie-on down straps, so the straps go over the top of the kayak, the same as that here. So you've got the straps that go over the top. So it'll actually hold the kayak on if you're going any further. It's adjustable and it's lightweight, and it's got foam rubber pads on the top that the kayak sits on, and you can remove the wheels for ease of storage as well. So that's my first option you've got there. Second one, the same as mine. The 2 little inserts that go through the bung holes of the sit on top models. I don't know what happens in the US, but in Australia, bung hole is it makes my childish laugh every time I say those words. But anyway, yeah, so that sits up through there. Hard rubber tires. It will hold up to 150 kilos and 75 kilo options, depending on which one you buy. It's got a strap. The reviews suggest the strap isn't a strong one. To be honest, I've never used a strap on mine, because once the kayak sits on top of that, the weight of the kayak alone, it's not going to lift up unless you're really going over some rough terrain or it tips over all the time. It's adjustable, so you can adjust it in and out to meet your thing. Lightweight aluminium, EVA cushions there to help to keep the kayak on top. So I like that one. That's a good straightforward one to get you from A to B. And the third one here is the one that I mentioned before about if you are going over a lot of sand to get to your area, your fishing waters of choice. Again, it will handle both the sit on top and sit in models, because it's a flat, it's got some rubber racks on the top there. Kayak sits on top, tie down strap goes over the top of the kayak, and then you've got your big rubberized sand wheels there. So effectively, as I keep saying, this one here, if you're going to be taking over sand, regardless whether you've got the sit on top or the sit in model, this one will work beautifully for that. So that is the third option there. That one, as I say, is a little bit more expensive. For this one here, the wheels come off, so you can actually buy that version and then pick up some wheels for it like that. Will go on top. To be honest, by the time you did that and bought the wheels, just get this one. And then the fold-up one, as we've mentioned there. So that's it, guys. That's my 3 recommended kayak trolleys. As I meant, the only thing I will say to you is if you don't have one, find one. They are make things so much easier. Think about lugging your kayak or having to get a second person to help you, and then go back for your fishing gear here. I go out by myself quite a bit, so I can just put the kayak on the trolley, drag it from the car to the water's edge, all in one hit, all done, good as gold. That's it, guys. Hope that was helpful for you. If you're watching this from YouTube, please like and subscribe to my channel below. That way I can keep you up to date with everything that I've come across in the world of fishing. If you're watching within the post, if you have any experience with using these trolleys, or if you've used a different trolley to good effect, or you have some further advice on which trolleys you would recommend, please comment below. We'd love to hear from you. Okay, guys, thanks for that. Chat to you soon. Bye.